You still smile, but carry a weight no one sees. You've healed on the outside, but your mind still limps. You survived, but something inside still hasn't moved on. What if moving forward isn't about gaining more, but releasing what you no longer need? This isn't about forgetting the past. It's about not letting it define your next step. Because sometimes we don't move forward. Not because we're stuck, but because we refuse to set something down. Thomas is 48. To everyone around him, he's steady, dependable, strong. He shows up for work, pays his bills, and smiles politely at dinner parties. But once a month, in the quiet of his bedroom, he opens an old message thread on his phone from a friend who betrayed him 4 years ago. He doesn't respond. He just reads, scrolls, replays. Not because he wants closure, but because, deep down, he's still holding the weight of that silence. He thinks he's over it, but the memory lives like a stone in his chest, unnamed, unreleased. Have you ever done that too? Kept revisiting something that no longer exists except in your mind? Let's pause for a moment and ask something simple. What exactly are you carrying? Not in your hands, but in your mind, in your chest, in the space that still aches when no one is watching. Old weight comes in many shapes. Sometimes it's guilt over what you said or didn't say. Sometimes it's regret about a path not taken, a dream left behind. And often, it's an identity, a version of yourself that you believed in and lost. These are not events. They're judgments that have outlived their moment. As Epictetus once said, we are disturbed not by events, but by our judgments about them. The breakup was real, but your judgment says, I was never enough. The failure happened, but your judgment whispers, I'm not worthy anymore. These judgments settle like stones at the bottom of a lake. They don't scream, but they weigh everything down. And when you carry them, you change. Slowly, quietly, you move differently through life. You hesitate to trust. You downplay your success. You replay old conversations, searching for the moment things broke. Imagine this. Every morning, you pick up a backpack filled with invisible rocks. No one sees it. No one asks about it. But it's there, dragging your shoulders down, shortening your breath, clouding your view. It steals energy from today and gives it to yesterday. So, take a breath. Right now, ask yourself, what am I still carrying? Is it a mistake you made years ago? A silence you never broke? A dream that died but you never buried? Or maybe it's the version of you that didn't survive something and you still miss them. If this feels personal, it's because it is. These are not abstract ideas. They live in your posture, your choices, your voice when you say, I'm fine. And that's why Stoicism isn't about pretending nothing hurts. It's about seeing clearly so pain doesn't become identity. It's about choosing which weights are yours to carry and which ones were handed to you by fear, shame, or memory. Letting go isn't always loud. Sometimes it's a quiet choice to not let yesterday speak over today. The Stoics never told us to forget the past, but they warned us not to be ruled by it. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Past and future have no power over you, only the present." So why does the past feel so heavy? Because we rehearse it, we replay it, we build stories around it. But the truth is, the event is gone, only your attachment remains. And that attachment is what weighs you down. You're not carrying what happened, you're carrying what you believe it means. That's where Stoicism steps in, not to erase memory, but to cleanse perception. When you name the story, you begin to loosen its grip. Here's a small practice. Sit, breathe. In stillness, write down just one sentence. This is what I'm still carrying. Then ask, who gave me this weight? Do I still choose it, or did I just never put it down? This is not a ritual of force. It's a moment of clarity. You don't have to destroy what hurt you to stop letting it own you. Let me tell you about Sarah. She's in her 40s now, living a life many would admire: a stable job, a peaceful home, friends who care. But there's a version of her that still lives in a small apartment in New York, chasing a dream she never caught. At 27, she gave up acting to take care of her sick mother. She made peace with the choice, but never with the grief. So even now, each success feels muted, like it doesn't count, because it's not the life she once wanted. She's still measuring her present against a past that no longer exists, and she's not alone. Have you done this too? Compared your real life to a ghost version and punished yourself for the difference? The cost of carrying old weight isn't always dramatic, but it's constant. You delay decisions, not because you're unsure, but because your past taught you that action leads to pain. You downplay your joy because somewhere you decided that too much happiness invites disappointment. You close doors before knocking because someone, long ago, didn't open one for you. These aren't just habits, they're defense mechanisms. The mind thinks it's protecting you when really it's just preserving the wound. So, what happens when you let go? Not forget, not erase, just release. You reclaim that space. That mental shelf where pain used to sit becomes available for presence, for peace. I.O. for Leavenly Seas, 7 Prisons, and Mental Shelf. For peace, Epictetus reminds us, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. And sometimes, that thing isn't external. It's the story you've told yourself for too long. You don't need to hate the memory to stop kneeling before it. Here's a thought. What if letting go isn't weakness, but wisdom? What if it's the moment you stop trying to rewrite the past and start writing the next page? Letting go doesn't say, that didn't matter. It says, it mattered, and I no longer need it to define me. It is main. Just pause and feel that. Imagine the quiet of a room where all your regrets are no longer shouting. Imagine carrying only what makes you stand taller, not sink deeper. This is not denial. It's discipline. Not escape, but clarity. You're not dishonoring your pain by refusing to carry it forever. So here's the truth. Letting go isn't a single act, it's a quiet discipline. A practice you return to every time the past knocks. Not to fight it, but to nod gently and say, you no longer live here. There's a kind of strength that doesn't clench, it softens. There's a kind of courage that doesn't roar, it releases. And the Stoics knew this long before modern language gave it a name. Seneca once said, no man was ever wise by chance, and wisdom, in this case, means knowing what to hold and what to put down. So maybe this is your moment. Not to fix the past, not to forgive someone you're not ready to, but just to notice the rock in your chest and say, You've been with me long enough. You may not be healed, you may not be done, but if you've watched this far, you've begun. If any part of this made you breathe deeper or feel less alone, share your moment below. What are you still carrying? And if this journey helped, subscribe to the Stoic Room. Every week, we walk deeper into the calm, into strength, into clarity, not by force, but by awareness. The Stoic Room, calm, strong, unshaken in every storm.